Hi and welcome to TOCIA, the Temple of Caradwen in Avalon. And it is a great joy and pleasure for me to finally welcome you here. It's taken some time for us to have a place. We have been thinking about it for a few years, having our own space here in Avalon. But for the longest time, that was a dream. We didn't really manifest it until September 22. Then a very extraordinary group of women came together and they were incredibly powerful, magically. And one of them had a vision of all of us creating a spell together. And that spell is still a little bit of a secret, but it was an incredibly powerful, very, very powerful spell. And we kept it going. There must have been about 30, 40 of us who kept it going throughout a year. The whole idea of a spell is not that you do it just the once. It is actually really important to keep activating, keep energizing, keep bringing the power in. And doing it with a circle of sisters who has the same determination is so wonderful. It's so nourishing when we all have a common goal in mind and we all get on together. Women working in unison is the most powerful source of energy in the world. I promise you that that is the truth. So we looked at several places here in Avalon. Sometimes we were thinking of buying, sometimes of renting, but Avalon at the moment is a hothouse. It's oversubscribed. As soon as something comes off on the market, it goes. And we didn't want to hurry into something that wasn't sustainable. So I kept saying to Caradwen, is this it? And she'd be like, no, if it was it, I would have let you know. You would have had it by now. Because she is the goddess of manifestation, as I said. And she has a very interesting way of bringing to you what you really need. Not necessarily always what you want, but what you really need. And then when we finally, I mean, I got a bit impatient, I will tell you this. I sort of said to her, come on, Caradwen, if you really want us to have our own space, then, you know, get a move on, shift. I need a place for all of us. You know, time is fleeting and I can't see this happening. And she kept saying, where is the trust? I thought you promised to surrender and trust when you initiated with me. I thought you promised patience and balance. And I'm like, yeah, I might have promised that, but I'm not so sure that I can actually keep it. But kept it in the end, I did. In the end, everything went peacefully. I just let go and allowed myself to trust, which is hard for me and for so many people, especially these days. So within a week, when this place finally became available, within a week, somebody called me, a good friend, our Jackie, called me and said, are you still looking for a place? And I said, yes. And she said, well, there is one here available if you want to come and have a look at it now. And I was free and I went, I took one look at it and I thought, yes, this is our home. Part of it is because it's got a toilet in the kitchen attached to it. And I really think at our age, there is a certain need for a toilet. Anyway, if we wanted to do proper healing ceremonies, which we want to do, and proper healing treatments, we need to have the facilities for people to come. Anyway, so we took the leap. We took the leap of faith and we signed a 5-year lease. And we started decorating the place. And I will say that our men were really amazing. They did so much. It's not really their forte, most of them will say, but when they get going, men can be incredibly innovative. So let me show you around a little bit, because I'd like to show you what we've done so far with the place. So this is the temple from my view at this moment of time. I'm sitting in the back. You see quite a few people pass by. Often people pop into us. People that are not necessarily pagan, they're not necessarily goddess-loving people, they just have this need to open the door and come in. We sit them down, we give them a cup of tea, and one of the fortes that the priestesses of Caradwen are trained in is sacred listening. They listen without interruption, without trying to give advice, without trying to fix anyone's life. we just listen. That's what we're here for. And in the window, you can see certain sprays. We have temple incenses, we have jewelry, and most of this is made by people who are part of our group. And I particularly love these beautiful cards of Caradwen and witchy cards by Gwen Davis. So I'm going to drop a few names. This calendar made by the Estonian chapter of the Caradwen kin, and it's so powerful. When we got the images, it's just so powerful. Look at these amazing women. These are Estonian women. These are the wild women of the steppes, and we love being a part of that group. We have our beloved Susie Edward Goose, she who painted the beautiful mural in Goddess House and gifted us that some almost 10 years ago now. And here we have her guardians for our temple, and the shamanic Soinuraik and the blackthorn spirit. I particularly love the blackthorn spirit because I have a real thing for blackthorn. We have Greta Agosti, a young woman from Italy who really wanted to see Avalon so many years ago now. And when she said, I'm an artist, I thought to myself, do you know what? We could do with some more beautiful art for Caradwen. And so I said, let's do a swap. You come to my house and paint me a painting. And so other artists followed, wanting to create their version and their vision of Caradwen. One of the things that we say is that she isn't really my version of Caradwen. I tell my students what I see when I speak to her, but I don't necessarily mandate that that's how everybody else sees her. So this little figurine is by Freddie Miller, and we had that for fertility rites. So the Caradwen crew is exceedingly good at fertility rites. In 2022, we had 8 babies that people of the medical profession said would never be born to the mothers. Well, we proved them wrong, and I'm very proud of that. And of course, our own book, In Her Dark Bright Spirit, which is a collaboration between the priestesses that trained with me and myself. And again, this is a beautiful painting by Tiana, and our priestess Daniela Seefelder donated this painting. We could never have afforded it, but she donated this to us. And then you get to our altar. Now the altar will change every single day. As I come in here, I start fiddling and things feel right. But you will always find this sisterhood circle. Caradwen's kin obviously also includes the men, but they include the men who are really deeply in touch with their divine feminine. And behind that is one of the paintings by Susie Trigg. She's also a priestess here. And we are trying to find frames for them. It's a work in progress and always will be. And I'd like to introduce you to Herman, the smoky quartz skull, who I acquired, or he came to me when we opened Goddess House, and he has been a loyal seer. He's part of our seer training. He's been a loyal person or being for us that tells us when things are on their way, when we need to sort of take a little bit more care, or when we can be fully expansive. We have lots of hagstones because they are a part of our symbols, and of course the crystals, because we work with crystal sound alchemy. We believe that crystals are the greatest healers on this planet, and we believe that healing energy, these are not just stones, these are friends, these are family to us. And as you can see, we have every conceivable crystal grid in here for protection, for abundance. And this is a bowl by Wynne Abbott. Beautiful work. I have to watch my friend who comes in here because she really likes it. Check her bags. Our vitrine holds quite a few sprays by priestesses that have been creating them, but there's also some spell jars. So we create spells for particular reasons. They're not always for sale, they're not really, they're more given away. and people can donate, but really only particular people who have particular need of them. And then up here we have another one of the beautiful Tianas. And this painting was given to me by the first ever group of Caradwen priestesses. A lovely cat shawl. And up there, Pip Cooper, magic, sacred knotwork. And this is a mala, a mandala for our safety, for our protection, and for our community. This painting is by my beautiful daughter Charlene when she initiated as a priestess of Caradwen. She gifted us this painting. It is the eclipse over the tour that we saw together many, many years ago, and this is her dark bright light. And Yuri Leitch. I love Yuri's work. I'm absolutely in awe of the way that he creates the connection with astrology, with the stars. The chase in the stars is fantastic. If you haven't seen his video on that on YouTube, please check it out. It's amazing. It really is. It will blow your mind. And we have some homemade bracelets. And if you can see, there are bracelets for menopause to look at, mitigate menopausal symptoms, headaches. There is all sorts of wonderful healing. These are healing. They're not necessarily bling. They're healing bracelets created by the priestesses. And also there are sacred, the raven is sacred to us, so sacred raven bracelets and necklaces. And our beautiful Lucia Roberts with her Caradwen Rose Healing cards. So as you can see, the amount of wonderful offerings that we have for people is astounding. But they all are from our Caradwen kin, or people who are very close to us, who are very closely connected with us. I would appreciate all of you coming in here and just hanging out, being a part of the gang, being a part of the crew, and allow yourself to be looked after by the Caradwen crew and by the Caradwen herself. So with many blessings and lots of love, blessed be.